Hey, Mountain Shadows. I'm here again, and I'm going to read another article from Economist, like I've been doing in my other videos I've been making. And I'm going to read another article in the Books and Arts section. This time, this article that I chose was called The Memory Hole. And like the synopsis of like what the article is about says, tweets feel like conversation, but are judged and punished like writing. So it's going to be talking about Twitter. There's a lot of controversy and conversation about Twitter and just tweets in general. So I'm kind of interested to hear about this one, and so I'll go ahead and read it. Things were looking rosy for Alexi McCammond. Black, female, and 27, she was named editor-in-chief of Teen Vogue after a successful stint as a political correspondent for Axios, a Washington Insider news outlet. Teen Vogue had become an unlikely voice of resistance in the Donald Trump era, combining makeup tips with arguments for universal childcare. Ms. McCammond, who was to lead the magazine into the Biden years. But a newsroom rebellion ended her tenure before it began. A group of employees wrote a letter protesting against her appointment because of several tweets she had written 10 years earlier, when she was herself a teen. In them, Ms. McCammond reported Googling how to avoid waking up with swollen Asian eyes. She complained about the lack of an explanation for a poor mark in chemistry. Thanks a lot, stupid Asian TA teaching assistant. She'd apologized for these comments in the past, but a killing in Georgia on March 16th, in which 6 of the 8 victims were Asian women, made them look even worse. 2 days later, Ms. McCammond took to Twitter again to say that she had agreed to renounce the Teen Vogue job. Hers was hardly the first career to be capsized by old tweets. Neera Tanden was supposed to become Joe Biden's head of the Office of Management and Budget, but as boss of a center-left think tank, she had written tweets calling Republican senators the worst, a fraud, Voldemort, and such like. She too was denied her new position. James Gunn, director of the Guardians of the Galaxy superhero films, was fired, then rehired for tasteless jokes he made, also a decade and more ago, about pedophilia and the 9/11 attacks. This is to say something of the less prominent folks shamed in their communities for offensive tweets. Why do tweets keep undoing people? The answer may lie in their hybrid nature. In form, the language of social media is written, but in style, it is far more like speech. Twitter's character limit encourages short bursts that resemble talking and are then threaded together in quasi-conversations. People write them as they speak, using sentence fragments, slang, non-standard spellings to reflect pronunciation, and so on. Dialectologists use Twitter to study shifts in vocabulary, grammar, and usage. Research shows that the language of tweets closely mimics oral chatter. Finally, Twitter rewards the same qualities that are prized in speech: spontaneity, personality, and wit. And aiming for these people often miss the mark. One reason the platform hosts so much recklessness, attention-seeking, and off-target humor. Yet though tweets may be appraised like speech, they are punished like writing. Posts may seem to disappear in an endlessly flowing river, but unless they are deleted, they live on indefinitely. A public figure's stupid tweets are more likely than most to be screen captured by others, so that even deletion won't help. It may suggest a guilty conscience. In the days after Ms. McCammond's contrite withdrawal, several of her critics at Teen Vogue made their Twitter accounts private. One turned out to have used a racial epithet to jovially address a white friend in 2009. How will society adjust to this new speech text hybrid? One theory is that only the most conformist or risk-averse will succeed in a sort of woke dystopia. The rest will be vulnerable to the discovery of an embarrassing tweet in an ever-growing back catalog. A second possible outcome is safety in numbers. So many people, including path-breaking members of minority groups, will be deemed to have transgressed the skeletons in closets come to be regarded as inevitable. In this scenario, society accepts that more or less everyone has said regrettable things, that at least in some cases, tweeting them was merely a dangerous category mistake. Alas, the consensus seems a long way off. Hence, the third possibility that people will learn to keep their risky jokes offline, understand that even if they feel like colloquial remarks, offensive comments written in black and white can be recalled and judged that way. This would make Twitter a lot duller. Spontaneity is its appeal. But the more careers that are derailed, the more parents will urge children to mind their language online, just as they have long warned them to be careful with strangers. Human speech has been around for at least tens of thousands of years, writing for about 5 millennia. Twitter had its 15th birthday on March 21st. It may be wise to err on the side of boring until normal settles down. All right, and I will end the Zoom video there. Thank you all for listening.